Recording.
Alright, where we last left off. Well, other than copious amounts of the sword, let me start with the beginning. Well, we had just gotten back from a not very great encounter with, the resident, elementals in the area. I personally don't remember all too much of it, but I do know that it was rather taxing on a lot of our resources, causing a lot of us wanting to back away from everything that had occurred that particular day. We had decided that we were going to go ahead and take cover and find a nice little place that we could potentially stay off away at, but that found itself proving a bit difficult, but thanks to, some of our scouting abilities, namely Marcus's, if I recall correctly, we managed to find a decently nice area for the lot of us to rest, and the entire night went by without much problem. After that, sure. Right. After that, we had decided to head on back over, trying to find another area that we could essentially try everything again, now that I have the proper spells, that is. That is my own fault. But in this instance, we are very much trying for, how do I say this? We are very much trying for a new approach. No, right, sorry. What's happened is we haven't actually gotten to a new approach because we, for whatever reason, have decided that we were going to try sword pulling. And that ended up taking quite a bit of time. And by quite a bit of it, quite a lot. Not enough to lose any progress, though, as eventually, if I recall correctly, Einar had managed to pull the sword after killing the giant, and then trying again with a different thing, and all sorts of things, but he succeeded in that sort of measures. Well, we don't exactly know entirely what it does yet. I'm about to, but now it's just a matter of going from there. And that was just about everything with my memory. Whoa. Let's see.
Alright. So you're all awake in the clearing after taking your long rest. I believe you pulled the sword out in the morning?
Yeah, we pulled it out in the morning while Marcus took his short rest to do his ability.
And then after, I think we ended it around just as like the sword was pulled.
Yeah, we were about to leave, yeah.
So.
Yeah, well, guys, I
I
guess about... Yeah, it was Marcus. Glad we got that sword out of there and all. I guess about time we get on through and stuff. While this lasts, he says as Marcus kind of looks up at the sun and sees through his hand to see the sun. Boy, that's neat.
You're having a lot of fun with it, aren't you?
It's different. I kind of feel like a ghost, except solid.
Right. Exactly what does that feel like?
Well, I mean, it's like I can feel the wind coming on me and through me at the same time. It's really weird.
I would say that is, yes.
Bit tingly, actually. Tickles a bit.
Right. Kind of looks at the others. Kind of see what they're up to, other than Marcus's normal debauchery.
Me swallowing food. At kind of hearing that he's still solid, Candy very not so subtly lowers a cupcake she was about to eat at him just to see if it would go through. And it's just like, so, I guess to kind of catch me up. So we just finished pulling the sword, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, what do you think we're gonna do next?
I think we're about ready to head over towards the keep thing and figure that out, or get our base sorted out. I think. Hopefully.
No, I was just agreeing.
Are we ready for if we come across one of those thingies again?
You mean this town try to talk to him as opposed to having a death battle?
Yeah.
I hope so, Miss Evelyn. Do you know that?
Well, I have the capacity to. I just have no actual reassurance as to how things are going to go, right?
Well, I mean, can't hurt to try, of course. I mean, worst case scenario, we get in the fight we were going to get into one way or the other.
You're very right there.
Besides, I could scout ahead, make sure things aren't so bad. That's the whole purpose of this neat trick I learned.
Right.
Make sure you keep an eye out. Stay safe.
Don't worry, my painter's eyes see all and know all. He says with his passive 22 perception.
Painter's what?
Sorry, go ahead, Jim.
Painter's what?
My painter's eye.
Oh. Okay. Just kind of goes back to what she was doing.
Wait, actually, if you're like able to see things really, really well, then
She's gonna hide both her hands behind her back.
how many fingers am I holding up?
Do I roll a perception to see if I can twitch her muscles? What bicep muscles are reacting and pulling to figuring which muscles are being reacted? This is
You can roll a perception check at disadvantage considering she's hiding her head.
I figured, but I'm like, is there something I roll? 14.
Nikki, make a sleight of hand check.
Oof.
Just normal.
Oh, damn, you beat me.
Oh, damn.
You're taking a wild guess, so you're gonna have to guess.
7.
You might get it right.
Quick question. Based on placement, is Evelyn like in front of Kenny or behind?
I would assume that she's keeping, like, she's looking at the both of you.
Okay, so Evelyn would see that Candy had both hands completely open, but quickly changes her fingers to 7 and puts in front of her.
Wow, you're so good! I had 7!
Huh, well, heck, I didn't think I was that perceptive. I figured I would have had to do like that special ability of mine to get that good, but
You just have a really good eye.
apparently so, apparently so.
Evelyn goes on pretending like she didn't just see that.
Ironically, if I had used my perception ability, I would have tied your sleight of hand.
Well, I guess then me and Evelyn and the others will be right here. And let us know if you find anything.
Yeah. By the way, are we near the castle still, Storm, or are we still a ways away?
No, you guys are about a few hours away from the retreat.
We better head to the retreat first, then I'll break off when we get to the retreat and scout ahead. Otherwise, it's just kind of me wandering through the forests.
Sounds good.
Howdy-ho onward. Lucia,
Actually,
yep.
Could you repeat what was said? Just making sure I'm hearing things right.
No, we're just going to go to the keep right together, and then Marcus will scout ahead when we get to the keep.
All right then. Well, yeah. No.
Okay. So y'all make your way down, traveling for about a few hours. I don't know if the time's been running the entire time or is it the 5th? To check.
I have no idea. I've actually never. I always forget to look at that thing.
Just double checking whether or not I've left it running the whole time and it's just going into the next day. Where is it? I think it is the next day, 6. So you travel down for a couple of hours. Eventually, it coming to around about an hour before noon. You find a clearing that seems to be. There's a lot of trees just cut down within the area. It seems like a logging camp. You see piles of wood, just some of them like kind of stacked. A lot of it seems rotten with, or there's like other plants growing over them, kind of twisting it together. Weeds and grasses kind of growing through between little gaps where the various logs have been kind of stacked around. In the area, you see that there's this small little hut that's been destroyed. Like half of it's just been torn down through what is presumably just over time and weather and whatnot. You see a single axe just kind of embedded pretty far, about 90 feet away from you, just within one of the tree stumps, just sticking out through the middle.
That last part? Sorry.
There's a like a hand axe sticking out one of like a tree stump in the far like 90 feet away from you guys.
So from what we can see, no real. We're essentially at the entrance, or quote unquote entrance, the outside
of the logging camp. Yep.
Okay.
And you're about 2 hours away from the retreat.
This is different. I didn't think there was a logging camp out here.
Do you think he made his home?
You want me to peek around and see?
I don't see why we could all not do that, but for the sake of, I suppose for the sake of caution, we could, yeah. I mean, go on ahead.
Okay. Marcus will sneak on ahead to make sure there's no, like, orc horde, lumberjack orc horde waiting for us.
Okay.
Almost stealth. 13. Thank God for that advantage, or the expertise, because that at least it's still above a 10.
Alright.
Want me to roll a perception to see what I see?
Yeah, roll me a perception check.
19. That's much better.
Okay. The area looks like it's been abandoned for at least a couple hundred years. The area itself doesn't seem like there's anything around at the moment. Just a bunch of various sakura trees and other assorted trees within the area that's kind of overgrown around this clearing.
Huh. Well, Marcus will make his way back. You know, I don't think there's anything to it. This place looks like it's been deserted for like a couple centuries. I'm gonna look at that axe. Does it look like rotted and like withered away?
Nope, looks brand new.
Miss Evelyn, you got that detect magic sort of spell?
Detect
Oh, if you don't want to use up your spells, I can do that too.
other than that, I simply don't have it with me currently. But if well, actually, hold on. Let me make sure I'm not lying, because I'm pretty sure. No, I guess I don't have it. What the fuck? Whatever.
I mean, I'd
I
ask
just-
our resident cleric to just identify it, but he's not here to pester.
Sad fate. Well, I have identify. I just don't have detect magic.
I can do that.
I have a feeling that axe is magical, since this place looks like it's been deserted for a century and it looks pristine.
Here, let me check.
Candy will go ahead, use her lingering magic.
Okay.
And cast detect magic without any slots or components.
Okay. As you kind of hold your hand out towards the axe, you do get a sense that it's magical. It seems to be of a lower enchantment. From what you can tell, roll me an Arcana check at advantage.
Okay.
Guess you're great.
Yeah.
I believe.
13.
From what you can tell, it seems like just a very common, or at least common in the sense that the enchantment isn't that strong, and it's of the common quality.
Candy kind of presses a finger to her chin thoughtfully.
Well, if it's definitely magical, nothing too out there though, from what I'm getting.
Well, here's the thing, Candy. We learned fighting these elementals that you don't do so well without a magical weapon, right? And I mean, that axe is just sitting there for you.
She'll run and grab it.
Okay.
I shouldn't
You
do
run,
that, but she's going to.
Yeah, I
run
know.
and pick up the hand axe. Nothing happens.
Yet.
She will try to throw it at a tree.
Okay.
Like a true maniac.
Roll me an attack.
All right.
Just roll your great axe.
Great axe or hand axe?
If you have a hand axe, roll a hand axe. Okay. As you throw your hand axe at the tree, normally a normal hand axe attack like that wouldn't be able to do overly too much damage other than just kind of stick within the tree and make probably like a pretty heavy divot into it. But as soon as you see the hand axe impact into the tree, you just see this slicing motion cut from where it impacts straight out through the other side, as if it's like this wide blade slash into the tree, and you start to hear it crack and creak and slowly topple over as you hear the sound of the tree just shaking and eventually hit the ground with a heavy thud as you've completely just bisected, and it's a clean cut.
I'm really strong. Wow.
Damn, Candy, I didn't think you could do that. That was impressive as heck.
It did what?
Cut the
Candy
tree
bisected a tree, man,
with a hand axe.
by throwing it.
Looks like all those push-ups earlier really did help. Even if I couldn't get the sword, I got an axe.
See, I told you that that training gives you the ability.
She'll go and pick it up.
Okay.
So,
I'll be.
Miss Evelyn, you said you had that identify spell ready. I'm curious. You want to take a peek at this thing?
Well, funnily enough, actually, looking through everything in tabs and me punching myself in the distance because I had remembered I swapped out the spells, but I never actually did that, so I did that now. Got what I needed, but yeah.
She'll hold it out to you, Evelyn.
She's just kind kind of feigns a small gasp like it's a gift before she begins the small ritual.
Okay. As you take the 10 minutes to cast the Identify spell, you get...
Which actually reminds me, back on that sword, because I know that it had to be fully pulled out when it did, but I remember Evelyn was doing Identify for the sword back then. Could I get the information for that as well?
Then we got the information for that one.
Yeah.
I looked inside of the items, it's all there.
Oh, yeah. It's not.
Thank you! Well, there's that, but the
Hand
other...
axe of tree felling. Ladies.
I love that. It is specifically a tree felling. I love that.
So I guessed correctly. Oh my god.
I hate it. I hate it.
Once
Oh.
per day, when you hit a tree with his hand axe, it was instantly chop it down.
Oops.
Literally.
No, the best part is that it isn't like, okay, I'm not sure if you like, I'm not sure if it's a misinterpretation, but Storm, this is required to it because that means it's just anybody
Nope.
could use it. That's hilarious.
Dude, man, it's not that powerful a weapon, but it is magical, so it will affect the frickin' air elementals at full damage. They will not be resistant.
You say that until you gotta fell a tree on someone.
Huh! So the axe cut down the tree? Well, that's kind of disappointing.
Yeah, it's a hand axe of tree felling, actually.
I'm pretty sure it was used earlier today, and that was on me.
Puts hands on hips.
You know what? You're probably right.
She kind of reaches over and just 2 taps on the shoulder. I'm sure it was. But, well, this is a nice little thing to have, that's for sure. Although, if I'm not mistaken, does this count as a magical weapon? I don't think it is.
Yeah. Any
It would,
any
right?
weapon with an enchantment on it at all is baseline magical.
That's hilarious.
Right? That's the thing. Like, no matter what the enchantment is, it's a magic weapon by definition.
So, in reality, this is the hand axe of felling, Air Ganassi.
Do you guys know what this means, though, now that we've got this?
Dryads better watch out.
We could always add on to the cabin
No.
if need be.
No. For once we find our little place that we're gonna call home, now we can sort of move trees around wherever we want and sort of decorate it.
Yeah. That and... Not sure if this... how much is the knowledge of the other planes?
Depends on your character. I'd say unless you were particularly
Studious.
well, yeah, studious.
She was studious, but not in the areas of religion. I don't know. Would I do a check in that instance?
Yeah, just roll me in on what information are you trying?
Oh no, it's definitely religious inquiry, but literally, it's literally for the sake of a joke. Like, I'm not even gonna lie.
Okay.
Awesome. Yeah, and it's just like, technically speaking, I'm sure there probably isn't that, but I wonder if one could chop down the world tree with this.
There's a tree that belongs to the world?
Yeah.
Well, technically, isn't that every tree?
I don't remember what it's called, but it's kind of a part of a religion, really. I don't know. Sorry, it was just the random idea of something like this, a literal hand axe chopping down what's supposed to be miles long.
You know, I'd be more worried about what an ant would think about that axe.
Well, I mean, think about it. Take a knife, and she kind of takes out one of her daggers. I think regardless of whether or not this is a dagger or a dagger of human stabbing, I don't think the message changes.
Maybe. I guess that's true. Of course, that's not the knife of human stabbing. If you just stab someone's finger and he exploded, might have a different opinion, though.
Perhaps that's If you see any Ents around, let's be sure to conceal that immediately.
Good
What's her name?
idea. Tree
Uh,
people.
Yeah. God, she'd never say it, but I wanted to say treeple so badly.
Wait,
Oh.
so is it trees made of people or people made of trees?
It's more like a person that's a tree.
Well, not entirely. They are, their own species, right? They're persons, as in they're sentient, but they are, they still very are much trees, just living trees, with, well, sometimes eyes and branching arms and things of the likes.
Ooh.
Yeah, I heard this story about one ant with a little boy that kept giving the little boy a bunch of stuff, and then the boy wanted to cut down the tree to build a cabin, and the ant just kicked him across the plain.
I love your retake on the giving tree.
I wish I could take credit for it. I got that from a novel where they made that joke where an ant had the boy and killed the boy after the kid tried to kill him.
You know what?
Down.
You know what? That is a more moral story than the giving tree. I'll tell you that much.
I know, but it's like I just love that giving tree story.
God.
That's why I thought I'd retell it.
I've heard a story very similar to that one. I don't think that's how it ended. But I mean, who am I to judge, right?
So, please place yourselves where you might think you'd be in this current moment.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I'd probably be
saw those
standing
rolls.
next to Candy.
The axe
She's
would
by a
be-
tree that she attacked.
Would have been the middle. Would have been right around here.
And then
So
I
that's
guess,
where you would have grabbed it.
Oh yeah, but we're by the tree we split in half.
Yeah. Yeah.
just
Okay.
casually whites out part of the map. You probably want to move the others nearby, because I would assume they'd probably be around the corner, perhaps.
Yeah, they're probably just kind of like around. Wherever Lucio. Yeah. Sorry.
If anything, Lucy would probably just be looking at her trees.
So, with adding this axe to my inventory, how's that look?
You can pretty sure.
How
These
do I do
foundry
that?
maps are just
I can just
to
do
be
it.
honest, Nikki, you can just roll your hand axe and say you're using the magic hand axe too, because
Oh, got it.
it does nothing. Like there's no bonus damage or anything.
Yeah.
Right. It's just a hand axe apart from the meme that'll split a tree in half and counts as a magical weapon.
Got it.
Okay. So, as you all are currently observing within, like, just what is going on, and considering that you did just cut a tree down and made quite a bit of noise,
It didn't hit me yet.
you see what seems to be this breeze that kind of, this strong breeze that kind of flows in from the west, and you can see these petals, and they seem to be concentrated within a kind of like flowing wind breeze that doesn't seem natural. Doesn't seem like this wind is flowing as like normal breeze would be. And by the time you've realized what is happening, this wind entity of petals has already begun swirling in front of you, and I need everyone to roll initiative.
Damn, they got past my 22 perception.
Yeah, they have pretty high. They have
Yeah.
advantages.
Oh, they have
Rolled a
advantage.
23 and a 24.
Damn. Nice.
Wind.
Let's go to the counter. Change the music.
How do I? Right. How the fuck? How fuck?
Wait, are we getting attacked by petals?
Apparently.
Totally not looking enough.
Ah.
How the fuck do I... Oh!
That was a very pretty map.
Where was the roll for initiative again? I thought you clicked the shield.
Under the fist.
Nah, it's
top
the,
right. You click the shield, and then top right, click the fist. And then you click the fist.
So you click the shield, top right under the fist?
Oh, you know,
Yeah.
like the combat tracker.
Top right.
Oh, okay, that's right. Yeah. I'm still used to fucking roll 20 popping it out for me.
Well, I mean, you know, Nanos has like the default flag one.
Oh, I know. I forget that I have to select the combat tracker. That doesn't just appear for us.
I don't know why it doesn't automatically.
Sure, it's so simple. But way to make it gayer. More appropriately Japanese, but yes.
We're all gonna. We're in danger.
Sakura pedal elementals have the power of God and we still, I mean, I'm not sure how bad we are. Perhaps.
Yeah, there's a possibility. Yeah.
There's always a possibility.
It is.
Dashing.
You mean like Russian?
As you just see this, as it kind of like races from the north, and the wind taking all these pink petals as they kind of flip and throughout the air, taking it with them. And you can see what is now just this whirring wind with pink petals just kind of whirring through it all. This one. So, it's going to see him.
I bet Lucia's probably just like staring at this tree over here, but notices everything first apparently, and gets to go. I hate this.
Crystal, do you have any I was wondering, because I got booming crystal as opposed to... Oh, this is wonderful. Patient.
Oh god, my brain's like, how do I play my character again?
Oh my god, Brian's not here to play Damien. That means I might be able to keep on some of my spell slots. No, my bardic inspirations.
I hate that I really just don't know what to do right now. I hate it.
Well,
I
I mean,
know.
here, let me use memory, right? It was a pre-established thing that we were going to try to attack them, like, only if, like, the top failed. We haven't had that thing yet. So, Lucia can base that on that. Not even metagaming, just, like, taking the snow and flying it. You can still attack, I don't fucking care.
Lucia wouldn't have had any, so even if we were fighting.
Oh my god.
I'm just like, there's no reason to cast like a supporting spell, so I'm just kind of like, guess I'm dodge actioning, staring at them like, oh, pretty. Okay.
I wonder if...
Candy just sees all these petals flying a bit and just like, ooh, that's pretty. And then it's like, oh, they're attacking us. Oh, this might be the air thingamajiggies that they were talking about. And kind of like looks over towards Evelyn, who has the spell for that, right? Talking to them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Candy's like,
Okay.
and just is gonna hold her action, and if I'm gonna hold Candy's action to attack the hand axe, or if talking to them fails on Evelyn's part.
Okay. Marcus.
Question: talking to them's an action, right?
I'll give it to Evelyn as part of the
Spell casting. Okay,
spell
that's what I was
casting
asking.
that
'Cause
she can make an attempt.
I was gonna say Marcus might hold his ass, like, but if I was just asking for the sake of like convenience, because Marcus would make the attempt, if Marcus would hold his action to talk to them, like cast it on me if you can't take your persuasion, because I got the second eyes. But since you can do both, I won't bother. Marcus will go. What the heck is Marcus going to do? Yeah, he's just gonna turn to Evelyn and go, Evelyn, you might want to make sure everything's safe. I'm not really good in the front, so I'm gonna actually disengage.
Okay.
Because I am a glass cannon. Excuse me, pardon me. Just back the fuck up. Have Einar kind of be my meat shield. And that's all I can do because that was my action.
Alright.
Boy, we all rolled balls for initiative.
Okay. It is going to on its turn.
Oh, I'm so glad I got the fuck out of there.
Maximum suck. Oh no. Oh no.
So, I need
Everyone it passes through.
yeah, Candy, Evelyn, and Lucia to make dexterity saving throws.
Neat.
Remember, you have advantage if you took the thing for barbarians and
What?
heat.
You
Do you
have
have?
danger sense.
Yeah.
Oh, I have danger set? Oh, so I get to...
You get advantage. Yeah, it's not attack.
Oh no! How much did these things fuck y'all up again?
These are completely different things, so we don't know.
I mean, the air penalty weren't too bad.
Let's chill then.
Okay.
The pedals make them so much more powerful. It's time for 40-10 damage.
You know, like paper cuts, this is like leaf cuts, which is like 10 times worse.
Yeah, essentially, as the pedals turn like just like
You were kidding.
No, it is the ability to totally cut off.
I'm gonna get razor leaf. I'm getting razor leaf.
So yeah, essentially,
It's super effective.
Evelyn and Lucia take 16 points of piercing damage as the leaf just kind of slice into you. Everyone else can take 8 points of damage.
Oh, shit. I got rage next time. Okay.
Well, if you rage and you ended up taking
No, but like,
I forgot about their...
good thing we would have lost the rage.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
True.
Yeah, that's true.
Do not to worry, it would have been a
Marcus just backs the fuck off. He's like, I am so glad I moved!
Okay. That is its turn. Aina is going to. He's going to
agreed with
stand.
the plan.
Yeah, I know. He's going to stand there and take the dodge action. Damien is going to do the same.
Alright, yeah. Now, if my fellow players can remind me, I know that we said we were going to talk to them. Was there anything specific that we were trying to talk to them about?
We just wanted to say we were coming in peace for the sake of, like, making deals, and we were going to hopefully... Because the Empire hates them, and we're against the Empire thing, right?
Precisely. Okay. Then, yeah, so immediately what's going to happen is she immediately, after being sliced the fuck up, she uses the probably sliced elastic band on her glove and to just shove it off as quickly as fucking possible, and tracing the sharp portion of the finger just against her lip, just this little bit of a purplish pinkish hue before she speaks out. And what seems to be normal words, but everything is resonating out of her lips. As she just very quickly says, "Please don't attack us, we're not here to fight."
Go ahead and persuasion.
Oh no, persuasion. Oh no.
Wait a minute, are you not proficient with persuasion?
I don't... I'm gonna use my inspiration.
Okay. Go ahead and reroll.
Let me just...
Whoa!
That's so much better!
Okay.
No, it's official. Marcus is better at persuading than you are.
What? Wait, what's your modifier?
I got a +3. I got a +6 because of I'm proficient, and I got a
Holy
+1 into my lucky stone.
That's...
I'm more persuasive than you.
Hey, for now. Nah, you get to keep that. That's gonna be funny. I actually love that. That adds to their dynamic even more. Yeah, I'm good at, nefarious things, so thank you
Marcus,
very much.
I took persuasion partly, dude, for the meme of him going around making people better. Remember? Anime pro tag.
Yeah, me too. Pushes hair behind head. Okay, but yeah, go ahead, sir.
You just kind of see the wind and the pedals kind of they seem to be like surging towards you, and they stop for a moment, and you hear this kind of wispy, gaspy voice. We can hear you.
Yes, you can. We come here with peace, not as representatives of the Empire that targets you.
The Empire. What Empire?
You may have noticed those coalitions of humans and others. They would come across your lands, but not peacefully to take things.
Humans are the same. That's what we've been taught. That's what we've been taught.
Yes, well, and if I'm not mistaken, there's no outsiders in the party currently, other than Lucia, right?
We're gonna put,
Like people that know the quote-unquote secret.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I guess the other... Actually, let me check the rules on this fucking thing. I forget if it's just you speak as normal.
Yeah, I can
or-
understand everything you're saying. I can't understand what they're saying. I can understand everything you're saying.
Yeah, we automatically
okay.
understand everything you say, regardless what you're
Okay.
saying, what language you speak.
So
Okay.
everyone else cannot
Well,
interact with the elementals in terms of speaking things.
she looks back instinctively, almost back at Lucia when she kind of says this, but just shakes her head when she goes ahead with it and places a hand on her chest, emphasizing the finger by placing another hand over, kind of leaving only her fingers on the top, on the lower hand visible. It's just, as you can see, we're not exactly humans, not completely anyway. Please, let us de-escalate and have this conversation.
Roll me another persuasion check.
All right. Fear. All right, let's get it. Persuasion. That's what it is. Oh yeah.
Yours is better.
You see the forms kind of like slow down as the wind from what was kind of like a kind of loud breeze whirring before. You kind of hear it slowly simmer down into this kind of light breeze as their form kind of shifts, and the one in front of Einar shifts into this. You see the petals kind of form into the bigger and just kind of whirring in place. The others kind of switch, and you see the one next to Lucia form into a woman with kind of what seems to be long hair down to her back, and the other another male with what would be, the hats similar to that the Shirai would wear, those kind of like large sun hat type things.
They're naked.
And you see, it's a weird sight because it looks like the wind has kind of formed and it's just pink masses of petals who kind of form these humanoid shapes. And you can see where the mouth is, where the mouth would be. The petals kind of move to form the words.
So it's like a silhouette, but with some minor distinguishing features. Shape, form, hair, things of the like. Okay.
It's a very like loose silhouette. So it's almost as if it's like this shadow air kind of thing speaking to you.
Okay.
We were told that they would eventually come here to destroy us. You entered this place. For what reason?
Well, she actually goes ahead and walks forward a bit, not towards them, but diagonally, and sits on that stump that the tree feller axe was once placed.
Like
So-
all the way over here.
Yeah, I know. Really? Like, oh wait, all the way over there? Damn. That was-
Yeah.
Wait, because we positioned ourselves over here. Like,
Yeah,
You
that's
got-
because that's where the tree exploded.
That's where the tree exploded.
okay. Okay,
Yeah,
I thought it was like, oh, okay.
And then
Then if-
around here is just a bunch of tree stumps.
Then if that's the case, then she would just kind of lean against any, like, discernible object, really.
Yeah, those are tree stumps.
Yeah. And she would just take a sit there, or lean against it, either or, and she just kind of says, well, I can assure you that that day need not come. And hopefully, if... I hope that never happens, frankly. You see, we here are you could say a coalition of adventurers. And well, there happens to be a place here, I know, that we know, could be of actually great use to us. but we also knew that it was within lands that you all, well, occupied, and, well, no matter, well, elemental, and kind of gestures towards them, well, human, kind of almost hesitates a little bit, but gestures back at herself. It would be rude to encroach upon a land like that. Not without conversation. And hopefully, she smiles a little bit at the pink man. Diplomacy. I suppose this is the first time you've ever spoken to someone like I before. It's the same as well. There's some for everything, I guess.
We knew of your kind that inhabited this place. Violent they were, scared.
This world will attack so blindly if they don't understand something. I know it is only a word from myself, but I do deeply apologize for the actions of those like me. I wasn't expecting to prepare anything, but, well, we must start from somewhere.
This is strange to us. Exalos speaks of your kind being ruthless, wanting us away from this place. Thus, transformed us, so that in time we take over that floating city distance.
Do remind me, are we in Orbani or Chimeran
You guys
territory?
are in it's a bit yeah, you guys you're in the neutral continent. However, it's the neutral continent, quote unquote neutral, is occupied by various Chimeran and Oromani cities, as along with a spattering of neutral cities. What you guys are in right now is area under the Oromani, and just around closing in upon skating towards Chimeran and neutral territory. The city of Arkvale is basically a big hot zone where it's surrounded by Chimeran cities. And the only reason why it's such a big, why it hasn't been under siege, or at least isn't constantly being pressured, is because of the aerial military force there, because they have Arkvale has pretty much what is known to be one of the biggest and more powerful airships.
Yeah. Not to mention
And
they're
so-
provided with one of the most aggravating natural barriers ever, the sky.
Yeah, the sky, exactly.
Right?
And so actually encroaching upon and attacking the city of Arkvale is extremely difficult.
Like pushing Russia in the winter. Understood. Well, if that's the case, would it be reasonable to assume that, or any way that I could, I guess, extrapolate that what they're likely talking about are the Chimerans, especially if they are, like, you know, rather nearby. And, you know, as you had said, at kind of a hotspot, there's a lot of Chimeran cities around.
They specifically said the floating city.
The floating city. Huh,
The place we
okay.
just came from, yeah.
Okay. I suppose you do not need answer if it is too much, but with the floating city, Arkvale is what they call it. Why that? I note that nobody knows why it's floating, do they?
Well, what do you mean by nobody knows why?
Well,
In
because
terms
I
of
mean,
exterior knowledge, or like if you ask the people within the city. Exterior knowledge, it's kind of like, but
It's not
I
a
think-
mystery, though, right? It's like people are aware of it, we just don't know.
yeah.
okay. Well then, okay, then I'm gonna go with this question. Exactly why the floating city, Arkvale?
That is where Axelos tells us humans there, where we should take over.
Marcus is gonna scrunch his face when Evelyn starts mentioning the flying city of Weg specifically. Miss Evelyn, what are they talking about?
Could I get that name that they're saying in spelling? In letters. Exalos. Do any of you guys know an Exalos?
Is there any? Yeah, I'm about to say, is there even a reason to roll that? No,
No.
never heard of the feller.
Huh. I guess kind of moving back over towards it, towards them. Well, I needn't want to waste your time, but I suppose you've caught my interest as far as this Exalos individual. Is that a leader of yours, a god? Or
A
a king?
leader of sorts. They transformed what's wisps. Small notes of wind to what he refers to as powerful, stronger, deeps.
Did you all come from them?
No. We were transported here. Rifts. Dragged. Where we once were. Our original plane.
Kind of turns. She kind of turns to look at the rest of the party. So, I explained it to them, of course, why we're here. We are. But some unfortunate addings. This is the first time they've ever interacted with people, and up until then, they've only known ruthlessness, really.
I see. So they had been the scum of the people on the bottom, sort of thing. Hadn't met the cream of the crop.
That's right.
I mean, that's what we were here for, though, right? Change your mind, show peace is possible. That they're good people out here.
Yeah, let them know we want to be friends.
She smiles at what Candy had said, and actually kind of seems to get this almost a bit of an odd look on her face before she turns around and looks back at them. And it's just, you see that one? And points over towards Candy. I know that I talk about diplomacy, but I mean, she had outright said that she wanted to become friends. I know that we can't speak for the lot of humans and other humanoids, but we do not come here at all with the intention to harm or deface any of the land that you have here. We are simply drifters looking for a place to land, really. To maybe even call home. And I understand if that is a lot asking, especially with nothing to, per se, give in return, so if you have any ideas...
You see the female figure kind of shift and move a little closer. Kind of seemingly more talking towards the elements you've been speaking with the whole time. I think our suspicions were true. Someone seems to be best. Our assumptions were best.
I'm just going to ask this because I know we're missing the player, so I can't ask them directly. Does Damien have comprehend languages prepared?
Comprehend languages is
Oh, you didn't have that loud. Okay. I thought that was a I thought that was a knowledge cleric domain spell, but I could be wrong.
I don't think you're wrong in that instance, so that was just the one thing that got omitted.
Okay, fair enough. Because I was just going to say, Marcus would have said, "Hey, yeah," because Marcus was going to suggest casting comprehend languages for the party so we could be involved. But if you don't have it,
he can cast tongues onto one of the elementals.
Evelyn, you mind like if their leader speaks, so we can all like get on the conversation and cast tongues on them, just so we know what's happening.
Yeah.
Might be easier.
Looking at the elementals. Not to make any wild assumptions or anything, and not to interrupt, but do any of you three talk for the lot of you? Or my companions, they want to use the same spell that I'm using to talk to the lot of you on one of you, so they can understand as well.
You see the female figure kind of speak up. It depends what kind of point of view you'd like. I have a more suspicious approach to exiles, but I know venturers move with right.
I would suppose... Sorry, go ahead.
And although skeptical of humans, I think this encounter has proved my suspicions true.
She kind of smiles. Inquisitive. You seemed a bit more neutral and, well, and kind of looks at the third. You haven't spoken much.
I'm still in the wind, so to speak.
Is there any... Sorry. Is there any discernible emotion I can find from this one?
It's pretty hard to read emotion. You can roll me an insight check at disadvantage.
Alright.
Okay.
17.
He seems to have this kind of like what is seemingly like a scrunched up face of this is like a waste of time.
Yeah, I suspected as such, and Evelyn is this almost very much with the same companionable diplomatic smile that is on her face, but this little bit of a quirk to her eyebrow kind of forms, and just kind of says, "Is that an expression amongst your people?"
you speaking it towards the
That figure. Yeah.
So
expression?
Not an expression.
What did I miss? What's going on here?
we were about to be attacked by air elementals, but we were able to get the piece with the tongues talk going.
Never mind. She shakes her head. Yeah. Go ahead and let's. I would say, if anything, looking in between all of them.
Miss Evelyn?
Yes.
I was just talking to Damien. Apparently, you can cast tongues on as many people as you like. Maybe we could just get both of them. Because it seems like there's a discussion.
It's
Did I
one.
forget that?
It is not. It is not a concentration spell. I just looked it up.
Oh
that
my.
means you can
Yeah,
cast it on as many multiple creatures as you like. You just takes one casting per.
I think it's. Oh right, yeah, but that is also each one is a third level spell
No,
slot.
I get it, but
Yeah,
my
I was about to be
clarity
like,
not
Judah, you stupid idiot, but then again, Damien. Ah, yes, free spell slots.
Let's be honest, Damien in here, Damien blew all his fucking spells to charge a ship. He don't get a say.
Essentially, what you're if you want to spend only one spell slot, you're choosing between either the male figure, who's been more kind
Hesitant,
of
but not.
yeah,
yeah.
but he's willing to talk. Whereas the female figure who's spoken up has been the one who's kind of been speaking these skeptical thoughts amongst the three of them, or so you say.
Well, I will say that is actually a good point there, Marcus. Well, and she kind of addresses all three of them. As much as, of course, I am wanting to have the lot of you all speak, I think, in order to account for everyone's wishes here, from curious to more adamant, and kind of looks from the woman figure to the second male figure. I believe it would perhaps be best if I were to give the more neutral in that. Perhaps so you could potentially speak for either of them if they have any comments or questions.
I assume you're talking towards the male figure.
Yeah, the more neutral one.
Alright. Very well. Damien will go up and cast the tongue spell.
So, can you understand us now?
Kind of looking towards your direction, Marcus. I can, yes.
Whew, that makes things a lot easier.
Indeed. Forgive me if I haven't made introductions. No, I guess, assuming now that you all can understand me, it's my name is Ventra.
Pleasure to meet you, Ventra. My name's Marcus.
Interesting name.
Let's see. I just.
Can they understand all of us now, or?
We can all understand him. Like, tongues is cast on them, so we understand Ventra. They understand us.
Okay.
Right.
Hi, I'm
Ev-
Candy.
Odd name. Named after humanoid delicacy.
Funnily enough, your names seem to be very similar to some words of ours.
Interesting.
She kind of shrugs, but smiles nonetheless. But I guess my offer still stands in that instance. We are coming out of quite nowhere, and I know that Well, there are others of you than simply just the three, right?
Others in different forms.
Right. Well, if I had it my way, I would like it for the lot of you to be as comfortable as possible. This is your land, after all. And when dealings with land, trade is necessary.
What do you propose?
Kind of turns to look at the others.
Well, I mean,
Oh, it's just, well, guys, I mean, we've come here, and, well, we're talking now, but obviously, I think it's asking a little bit too much to, shine on their good-natured, good Samaritan sides.
I get it. Oh, I was thinking, honestly, delegation and peace talks, right? I mean, nobody wants anybody to fight and get hurt, and we figured allies are always helpful.
That is true.
You hear the female figure kind of whisper over. What do they speak of? And you see the male figure turn. Peace, delegation, trade.
And maybe even protection as well.
Let's not forget friendship. That's important, right, Candy?
Yes.
Always.
Friendship.
And cupcakes.
They
What are these cupcakes?
You've never had a cupcake?
can't talk about that in a moment.
No, I don't know, Evelyn. I think this is really important.
I mean, it couldn't hurt.
The both of you, please. Kind of
As a
looks at
sign
the
of good friendship.
protection as well.
Kenny will try to sneak on a cupcake while we're talking.
Which one are you sneaking a cupcake to?
Please, the grouchy one.
Yeah.
You see it kind of just look down. Roll me a persuasion check.
Wait, can't you use your good nature
Can I use my good nature
There you
thing?
go.
I mean, technically, this is a noble cause. We are trying to make peace.
That is true. I hate it.
I gotta remind myself what my thing does.
Gives you a
Compassion.
plus
Gives you
10,
plus
Nikki.
10.
Why do I remember it better than you?
Because it's Nikki.
Yeah, that's fair.
Exactly.
Ninki has more
Uh,
important things to focus on, like being God.
28.
28.
It gives you this. It seems to be looking at you, and you can just kind of read the expression on its face. It's just kind of debating, and it says before it kind of like picks it up in its like wind pedal whirring hand. You know, we don't eat right.
It's the thought that counts.
You cannot understand that one. None of us can.
Oh,
we
got it.
only understand Ventra.
Evelyn, she just
Okay.
smirks a little bit.
Caddy just continues to beam up at this creature.
You just hear
waiting
this
for-
wind sound coming from it.
She just beams, waiting.
Kind of looks over towards Candy. He appreciates the gesture. However, I don't believe that they can eat.
I will demonstrate what it looks like to consume food. As it just kind of puts it in towards itself, and it just starts shredding it to pieces, and it just goes flying everywhere. None of it consumed, just blasted to shreds and pieces flying
Does it just
across.
get shotgun blasted back at?
Just
it
because
kinda gets
Marcus-
shredded.
Just because Marcus can, he's gonna catch missile some of it in his mouth for shits and giggles.
And seeing this, Caddy's just like,
Evelyn, I thought you said that they can't eat.
Well, that's exactly what just happened. They can't.
What if we can make some sort of air cupcakes?
Yeah, can you tell him that we'll find a way to make one that he can?
You know what, Candy? Maybe they eat smell, so if we bake the cupcakes, it gets in the area of the wind, and they taste it that way.
Evelyn just looks towards the third figure and says, "They're very excited to meet you." literal sigh.
Pretty much. Just a grunt.
Can you tell that one I want to be its best friend?
Perhaps later. Let's deal with these current matters, right?
Will the magic wear off?
But looking back towards the middle one.
Evelyn,
Not
Will the
now,
magic wear
please. Not now, please.
you said the magic will wear off, won't it?
You see Ventra just kind of sigh and look over towards the other one. She wishes to be your best friend. Evelyn, you just hear a. Excuse me, what?
She just, again, like, literally like a fucking realtor, just clasps hands together and just with that bright smile, I meant it when I said that they are very excited.
Candy looks to the one that spoke and is just like,
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Anything that helps these negotiations between quicker.
Fair.
A few more of the pink petals collect near the cheek areas.
Yeah. By the way, I guess getting back on top of this Exelos fellow you guys were talking about earlier.
Exelos.
Exelos. He your leader, I'm gathering.
Self-proclaimed.
Ah, I see. What's his opinion on our folk? And by that I mean the solid. He looks at himself, the more solid bodice, or he realizes he's still see-through.
Considering that he wishes to take over and obliterate those that reside within that floating city, not very kindly.
I see. That would be kind of a negative stigma to friendship, I would admit.
Yes.
Tell them of how Exalos has transformed some of us, changed us to what we were barely recognizable, some of us. She says that, Exalos has transformed us into what he considers higher beings, higher elementals. Our former can take on these petals and use them as weapons. Others, I'm sure you've encountered ones that have infused stone within them.
Yeah, we unfortunately did.
Those ones seem to be consumed by power.
So not as chatting.
You needn't answer, but I suppose I am curious. Exalos, where does he reside in a single area?
You see the figure point up towards the mountain.
Is that towards the keep? Or
the one towering above the retreat. At the peak.
Right.
Do you mind if I ask a question? I mean, you said you were trying to be enhancing you. What were you before this then? Just regular spirit elementals? Just
Indeed.
and you say there's consumptions here. By the way, Miss Evelyn, feel free to translate for everybody else with my words if you feel like it, just so everybody's in on the conversation. But the main factor here, I suppose, is you said consumed by power. Does that mean changing your personalities, like your very beings are being altered by this.
Indeed. Some of us have kept our old thoughts and feelings upon some things. Others have changed form from his magic manifestations.
And, I mean, I ain't the smartest fella on the planet or anything, but that's tantamount to type of slavery, if you ask me. Brainwashing. I mean,
From what you call, I suppose it is a form of brainwashing.
And then, I mean, I suppose we've been making these deals with a lot of you, but this Xelos,
I don't think it extends to him.
then I suppose I should put it this way.
We must be rid of him. Please, help us be rid of Xelos. I don't think that is what he's done is correct. From what we've observed, and what I've observed 100 years ago, these people, you humanoids, you live in fear of us. Rightfully so.
I suppose I'm curious. What about you? Looks back at the third figure. I know that you have your apprehensions, yes, but Xelos, other than this, is. How do you feel?
He's told us that you are not to be trusted, that you attack upon sight.
Do you really believe that?
What I'm observing, apparently not. But I still have my suspicions and my doubts.
Naturally.
I'm just gonna say Marcus probably sees this guy's grumpy face and just kind of gives him a thumbs up. He doesn't know what he's saying, but he's just gonna give him a thumbs up.
Yeah, no, she just looks back at the lot of memory and just kind of explains over. Just, it seems like there is an equal amount of chagrin as there is curiosity about us. But more importantly than anything else, and it kind of looks back at the third figure. I know that you don't. Correct me if I'm wrong, but when she said what she said, you didn't speak up. Would you say you were loyal to him?
We wander on our own. One of these forests. Stay away from the rest. Find peace and serenity within these forests. We only came by because it was disturbed. And from what we were told, thought you were intruders. So I attacked.
We're sorry about that for essentially shocking and scaring the lot of you.
Psst.
But
Miss Evelyn, what did she say that sparked this conversation?
sorry, I was just collecting information first. She had said that, well, and what I was about to ask this third one. Do you have a name, by the way? Me collecting names. There is Exalos, Vente. By the way, nice all
I will-
references.
I will need Thalos, Ventrum, Willar, and
Which one's the grumpy one?
Sleia.
Got it. That's the only name I need to know.
So yeah. Then, kind of looking back, kind of in between the both of them. So yeah, you didn't say anything, so I'm assuming. Yes, he gave you this new powerful form, but seems to be quite the oppressive force.
Indeed. That's why we
Nods.
stay away.
Looks back over towards the likes of the party. Well, she had just said, well, she wants to be rid. And seems to be that even those that are more apprehensive of us, even still, do not appreciate the presence of Exelos.
Huh. Well, I mean, honestly, from what we're understanding, he does sound a bit tyrannical in a sense, doesn't he?
Absolutely. For
I
a
mean,
moment I thought per se it was a god, but no, it's just he is just a powerful elemental.
you
But
don't
you were
think
glad.
he's like a. Well,
Hmm?
I mean, actually, I guess I should. Never mind. It's like, yeah. So he must be powerful if he made the other elementals stronger in a sense.
Trust me, Heath, I've been thinking the same thing. I just have no idea if like Evelyn would know about them.
Yeah, I was thinking the
Perhaps,
same thing.
perhaps if we get rid of this egg salad fellow.
Oh,
I've been waiting so long to say that. You don't even know.
I'm proud of you.
They might be willing to definitely coexist with us peacefully and protectively in an alliance.
True.
Of course, nobody likes rotten egg salad, so we certainly should take care of that.
I don't believe these things are landing upon them quite well, or at all. That being said,
What things?
egg
what is
salad,
an egg salad?
That's
unimportant.
what you said his name was, yes?
Exalos.
Oh, sorry. Eczema. Got it.
Um, I
It's just the soft pain.
I hate being the ambassador. God fucking ways. I have to translate for fucking two. Well, 1.5 himbos. 1.5, because Marcus actually knows what he's talking about when he knows what he's talking about. That is.
I know it can also be that way, but Manos just memeing.
He
me
chooses
because-
not to.
Look, I saw the meme opportunity and I took it.
Motherfucker. And a
Whereas-
herbo. And a fucking herbo.
I mean, I think, yeah, I think what we got here is the basics of, peace being breached. I mean, it sounds like this. Let's be honest, fellas. Exelos sounds a lot like he's gonna not only hurt these elementals, but he intends to wipe out an entire city of innocent people.
Right.
Indeed, and I'm sure he won't be too happy hearing about us moving in next door.
Well,
Yeah, even if we do bring him cupcakes.
looks
Moving
back.
in next door. What do you mean?
Another expression, but for the sake of that, they, and kind of looking between Einar and this, and you said it was Vintra. Yeah, Vintra. Looking between Einar and Vintra, well, he doesn't have to know. And kind of looks back at them. You already
Wait.
stopped. You already stopped your attack, and for that I appreciate. But I really do need the lot of you all to trust us when it comes to what we've said. And frankly, and kind of looks back over towards Willair, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
Yeah, Willair. It's just like but if trust is something that we need to build upon when it comes to this individual at the top of the mountain, I think you deserve to be freed from that type of individual.
As our elementals, we've been tied down to this place. We should be free beings, able to wander where we wish, not tied down to this mountain. We've been here for such a long time.
Yes.
It's heavy.
Well, kind of looking back at the rest of the party. How does it sound? I mean, would all of you be up for stopping a tyrannical leader?
Heh, just sign me up.
Certainly.
Always.
I mean, helping people's what we're all about, ain't it?
Yeah, if they need our help, especially since they're our super new best friends, we gotta help them out.
Exactly.
Then Evelyn kind of walks forward and kind of in front of the, kind of from what I'm understanding, the third figure's kind of standing off, whereas the second and first are kind of a little bit closer to one another.
Yeah.
She would walk directly in front of them and kind of very slowly kind of raise a bit of a hand. It's just, I don't know if you have a custom when it comes to agreements, but for us humanoids and whatnot, it's a simple shake of the hands. If you can actually interact with tangible objects, that is.
You're speaking towards Slayer?
Really?
Oh,
To both of them?
Ventress speaks up.
Well, I don't want to cut you.
Then, perhaps then simply it'll just have to be a matter of word. And she kind of steps back.
I got an idea.
I think I know where you're going with this, but go ahead.
Marcus will take out a piece of paper. You know, some places when they do friendships, they do it like Damien said, them contracts, right?
I don't think they can do that.
I mean, he can hold things with his hand, can he?
You saw what happened to that cupcake, right?
Did he hold the cupcake before he ate it?
No, it just kind of like, as soon as it hit like the wind, it just started shredding.
Well,
Right.
here's the thing. You make a mark, right? So if his mark, perhaps if we put a little ink in his hand and it just splashed across the paper, that's his mark. Like for the people who can't read and write.
You wouldn't happen to have an umbrella with you, would you?
How about this? We, as elementals, pass through each other with wind in a form of agreement.
Do I say it?
Shut up. Shut up. I said 1.5 himbo, don't make me turn that to 2. Swear to God.
Okay, I'll resist. I see. So you pass through one. Well, I guess you could pass through one of us as an agreement of friendship. Do it.
Oh, do me.
It might sting a little.
That's okay. I'm really strong.
She is.
Very well.
It will kind of move over, and as its form slowly kind of melts down into this wind, back into away from what its more corporeal-ish form. Now a swirling mass of wind and petals. It passes through into you. You take 5 points of slashing damage
Okay.
I imagine.
as it passes through the
I
other
imagine
side.
since she's so small, she kind of gets lifted off her feet for like an inch. Before
Yeah.
being lifted back down.
I apologize.
Even though it stings, she smiles through all of it.
Is this also how you give hugs?
What is a hug?
Here, I'm gonna basically do the same thing you just did, but I'm gonna you'll see. And she'll rush forward and kind of hold her arms around the air.
Okay. You take another 5 points of slashing damage.
Candy, I
Got
think that's enough, and I'm going to healing word her.
Marcus just kind of goes, I did hear love hurts, but this is getting ridiculous.
I'm not even half yet.
I know.
child.
What's the
Not
healing
cure
word?
wounds. No, I'm gonna use cure wounds instead. I figured I had that. Just God fucking damn
So,
it. 8.
Okay.
there's two ways you can approach this, from what I can tell. You can either enter the retreat area, that ruin, and inspect it for perhaps lost equipment from an older time. It is inhabited by some others. I can't say if they'd be too accommodating. Or the other option you might have is perhaps scaling the mountain right away. We
Well.
have areas that we could take you, could get you up there faster.
I mean, honestly, I'd kind of like to prefer hurting as few of these fine folk as possible, since their minds aren't right due to this Exelos person.
Right.
Their minds have been converted, I suppose. I think eliminating Exalos would only give them the choice of whether or not they prefer to follow through with their thoughts.
That's
Well,
fair, but at least it gives them the option to turn away, right?
and you three are here as well. Maybe you could help us.
Well,
After
I
all
mean,
this, I mean.
Some won't listen to us.
Yes, and some is a number. That would be good.
I mean, I don't
No,
suppose this
Evelyn, some is a
Exelos
word.
person.
Hmm?
Never mind. I don't suppose Yes, nice pun, Nano. I don't suppose this Exelos person takes prisoners or something, right?
There's no need to take prisoners. There hasn't been humanoids upon here for quite some time.
Fair.
I think it's just go straight to evisceration, really.
That is fair enough. I don't know about you. I think we could go after him right away, guys. I mean, after a short rest by some of us, I suppose.
I would say so. If anything, what I'm thinking is, well, is the keep visible from here? Like not the
Yes.
keep, what do you call it?
The
Retreat.
mountain?
Retreat.
The
Yeah, the
retreat.
retreat.
Yeah, it is. It's about an hour or two away.
Okay.
Is it towards the mountain?
Yes,
Like on the foot of it?
on the foot of the mountain. Yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, either way, we're walking towards the keep.
Yeah.
Just decides whether we're going to stay at the keep or not.
Yeah, I suppose depending, and of course I guess this means if we've learned anything is to make sure we don't make too much noise, but I suppose if that's the case, does your kind typically, the other elementals, my mind keeps almost saying Ganassi because I'm so used to elemental creatures being Ganassi,
Yeah.
but does your kind ever really go by man-made structures at all?
Some occupy the abandoned ruins.
The retreat?
Indeed.
Okay. Well, if that's the case, then perhaps if the lot of you three don't mind, if we were all to just perhaps stay around here for a little before we continue carrying on, and then you could show us those places that we could find for quicker access up the mountain.
Very well.
Kind of looks back over towards Lucia to see what she's been thinking about all this. Lots of information.
Crystal.
What?
She's dead.
Hello.
You feeling okay?
I'm slightly dying.
Oof.
What's
Yeah, you
happening?
said you were feeling ill earlier, right? You good?
We're
I
just wondering
will
what
be
Crystal's
right back.
opinion on everything that was happening, or what Lucia's opinion on everything that was happening.
Yeah.
I think Crystal might probably be too out of it.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fair.
Alrighty then.
That
Oh,
is
who?
music.
Oh, fuck. Okay. Then with that being said, Evelyn just kind of, would look back over towards them and just, well, alright. So it's settled. The lot of us, we're only going to need maybe an hour, per se.
Psst, by the way, we're not going to be able to speak to them after we're done. Have a little powwow. We might want to get that out of the way first.
Right, and after that bit of an hour, we're likely not going to be able to speak again. Of course, unless the likes of one of us casts another spell, which it will likely, because me checking what my third levels are. Yeah, chances are, depending on the actual nature of whatever's going to happen, I'm probably not going to be able to use mine.
Let's put it this way. If there's an maybe we need like an emergency. We need to talk signal, so we don't waste the spell unless necessary. How about that? Like, is there anything you can do, Ventra, that like could indicate to us that you want to talk to us?
We know of a certain object that could perhaps allow us to understand you all. We will need to go retrieve it, though, and interact with other elementals. If you are still here within the hour, we could perhaps return with it.
Well, that would be useful.
Right, yes.
We'll do such a thing.
Thank you so much for your, honestly, for your hospitality.
Yeah, you're a real breath of fresh air.
You hear a slight of acknowledgement of the joke.
For a moment, Evelyn had like this weird twitch on her face of like, was that racist? Before like the laugh is like, oh, thank God. Like just like that exhale just like leaves from her chest. So much emotion, but like such little face movement.
Come on, man. Marcus is charming as fuck, and he's never intentionally racist.
That's fair. Alright, see you then.
Notices it. Their forms slowly start to shift and kind of flutter into the mass of wind and petals and slowly flow away from the clearing.
On the plus side, I don't have to take a short rest, so I don't have to lose my stealth bonus yet, because I didn't take any damage! Hey man, that +3 could come in huge on a stealth check.
Yeah, no, I know.
Especially since I'm our scout.
Yeah.
By the way, knowing that you are not proficient with persuasion is going to be so great when I get to get that expertise persuasion roll and I get to describe what that looks like with Marcus.
Oh no, absolutely. Again, they're just the Chloe hand individuals of charisma. It's great. Just different kinds.
Yep.
Wonderful, blissful candor, honesty, and hospitality, and some good old seedy underbelly, but rose-tinted deception. It's wonderful.
Oh, godly little soul.
Ronald Weasley.
I hate it.
I guess while the party's resting, then Marcus will walk up to a tree and start doing sit-ups.
So,
Well,
if you would like to take your short rest.
God, I
good.
took so much more fucking damage than I thought.
Yeah, those wind guys messed you guys up. I am so glad I backed off when I did. Like, I'm disengaged. I'm gonna back up. I don't want to be here. I do like the fact that the guy that fucked everybody up though was the grumpy son of a bitch.
Yeah.
What the heck?
Wait, what?
The guy that hurt you guys was the grumpy guy.
Weird. What the fuck?
El Grumperino.
How do I just roll?
Under your sheet.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wait,
And then
mine
you can
didn't. What?
Apply it.
God, God.
Oh, they wanted me to. Oh my god, that's annoying. 1 second. I have to. Oh, they added it to me automatically. Wonderful.
Yeah, it adds it to you, and then
Okay.
I
Wow.
will short rest.
There we go. Yeah, for the first time, the roll didn't appear to me, and I got exactly the amount that I needed. Wonderful.
Also, I can't wait until we hit level 20 and Marcus can have that level 20 game of 32 passive perception and just
Oh.
goes insane.
Oh, I can fucking wait. This is gonna be a while from now.
So, is there anything you guys are talking about within that hour?
Well, I suppose we're working. Marcus will just be happy. Says, "Well, I'm glad to see the diplomatic approach worked, and we are able to work out our differences for the most part."
Absolutely, and frankly, I found them to be rather sympathetic.
I found they were rather charming too, honestly.
Yeah, they were really nice.
It's the one that seemed to be particularly apprehensive.
I mean, he ate a cupcake. That was quite dandy of him.
Again,
Yeah.
I don't think 8 is the right expression.
Oh,
fact that
fair
it's-
enough. Well, he.
Obliterate.
I
So
feel
they
that
don't-
we should not pass judgment on the way a person decides to eat their
He
cupcakes.
quite literally said he does not know what eating is.
I still wonder if, like the smell of a cupcake will absorb into them, though. They can flavor like that.
Going to be honest, I had thought about the same thing, I just didn't word it.
I mean, that'd be great, Candy. You know what? We could bake cupcakes in the new place.
The last thing I wanted to do was to come off as less ambassadors and diplomats and more merchants. Selling friendship and cupcakes.
Oh, we're not selling it. We're giving it for free.
Yeah. That's like, neighbor gifts, right? Well, when you move into a new place, you're supposed to bring gifts for your neighbors.
We're not neighbors quite yet.
We will be.
And we'll be best friends, and they can borrow the hedge clippers when needed.
And we could have sleepovers.
Barbecues.
Not the edge.
Oh, I just realized something. Since they're going to be our neighbors and probably going to want to stay the night sometimes just for safety or anything else, we should probably prepare rooms? Outdoors? Outdoor rooms.
Don't believe so. I mean, they live here. They're perfectly content with what they have.
Do they sleep?
Huh, they got like air beds?
No. I mean, just going to say it. They're not humans like us. Or, humanoid.
Oh.
Lowers finger.
Oh,
Sorry, I
you know
always
what,
forget
Candy?
the void part.
You know what, Candy? I wonder if they sleep on clouds because they can fly. And like weightless?
Clouds look really, really soft.
Yeah.
That's not there.
Oh, by the way, okay, here's the deal, Dags. Pitching an idea here for decoration for our new home, right? So I was thinking, with this new axe that we got, right? I know before I sort of brought up the idea of arranging the trees wherever we like and whatnot. But what if there's a roof area, we remove a bit of the tile from the roof and put trees on the top?
I feel like that
Like
would
a
be
roof
difficult.
garden?
Oh yeah. It would be really difficult. And yeah, roof garden.
Interesting.
I,
And
for
like,
one, rest a lot easier knowing that there are trees around us and not on top of us.
but I mean, look at all these pretty trees. So like, if we have it up top, that means it's gonna be constantly raining petals every day around our house.
You know, Candy,
Doesn't change.
I think the structural support might not fit, but my master did teach me about these other types of trees you do grow that are like small, and you're supposed to like clip them for the sake of like meditation. What were they called? Bun trees? Bunny trees?
That's a funny name.
That sounds familiar, but I can't quite put my finger on
No, while we were in
Bunseed trees. I think that was it. Bunseed.
while we were in Jester's Landing, I spoke to a monk. He talked about bonsai trees.
Oh, that's it. Bonsai.
I was gonna laugh if he was gonna be like, nah, that can't be it.
Perhaps your master knew him. He was named Mr. Miyagi.
I will hurt you.
Why do you do this?
You know, it's funny. I think they went to the same training program, but in reverse.
Interesting.
Like they both believe that martial arts and everyday stuff was meant to be combined.
I hate it. Let me out. Let me out.
It is really nice though that everything succeeded with talking to them. I'm glad.
Yeah, I am happy to know that we were able to make our differences. Would have really been a bummer if we had to hurt them nice folks.
Yeah, it would. Sorry for not having this prepared last time, though. Could have saved
Yeah.
us trouble.
I mean, from what they were saying, sounds like the rock ones are a little more loopy.
Oh, yeah, and it said that the other, not to say lesser, but those that aren't as powerful don't seem to be able to have as much independence. Wind Ganassi, or God, see, I did it now! Wind Elemental.
Yeah, I mean, I think the case is maybe this worked out better, because if we tried with the other ones and failed, we might not have tried here.
Yeah, you're right. You're very right, yeah.
So, I mean, maybe fate determined us to get rid of all our spell slots right before the battle.
Thanks, Marcus.
Whoa, I felt a little meta there, sorry.
No, I mean, your optimism, it helps.
Well, I'm glad I can do that. Always look on the bright side of things. That's what I say, says as he kind of snaps his fingers.
Jesus. Snaps his fingers. You don't see, you barely see anything, you just hear a snap.
I keep forgetting I'm see-through just as he looks at his hand. You know, the funny part is while you're talking to Marcus with Einar, he's looking through Marcus right at Candy. And vice versa, Candy looking at Einar.
God.
Candy makes a face at Einar.
Are we sure Marcus just didn't die and turn into a ghost?
He's wearing his clothes. His clothes aren't invisible.
Yeah. You know, actually, that brings up an interesting idea. Marcus is going to take out a cupcake. I wonder what happens if I eat this.
Huh.
I really hope it goes invisible because I don't want to see that.
Why are you eating the cupcake?
Marcus looks at everybody. You think it's worth the experiment for the purposes of knowing for future referencing?
I mean,
Oh?
yeah, it doesn't hurt to learn new things.
Sure. Marcus will take a small bite of the cupcake.
The moment the bite like enters your mouth and like your mouth closes, it's obscure and it just turns invisible.
Oh, there we go. Well, that's good. So what happened? I can't actually see what I eat.
It's gone.
Ah, well, that is useful. You know what that means is that if I stick something in my mouth, I might be able to sneak something out easier.
My mind is taking that places it shouldn't.
That's okay. It was meant to have that double entendre for the gag.
For the gag, all right.
gag.
But
Yeah.
I will go over their store. Don't you fucking make me. I will break the Corona.
I didn't make the joke.
We made it at the same time. Oh, pain. Anyways. Yeah, everyone she just doesn't say anything. Funnily enough, she has the mind to where she probably thought the same thing that I did, but she wouldn't say anything in comparison. And she's just, well, that aside, I suppose that is good to know.
I mean, I kind of wonder what else happens when I try to perform these feats, because apparently all I got to do is really meditate hard, and I can be really good at something, right? It's interesting.
Anything?
Apparently.
Ooh. But I mean, you're already good at everything.
Yeah, but this makes me like better than good. It's weird. Like I get like an insight to what I can be, and then some.
Syl says, I don't know, he's pretty bad at hitting things with a staff.
Pretty bad at what?
Hitting things with a staff.
kind of purses her lips thoughtfully at that.
I mean, ever since the Lucky Rock, he got better, so.
I think that says more about the rock.
I mean, he taps into its potential more than everyone.
Thanks, Candy. I appreciate the vote of confidence for whatever you are speaking to Syl about.
He said that you're really talented.
Continues to keep her grin.
Marcus thinks about the context of the conversation, shrugs. I appreciate that, Syl, looking to where St. Candy's looking.
Looks at Syl as well.
Syl flips Marcus off.
He gave you a wave.
Oh, thumbs up.
Candy will gently capture him between her hands and bring him down, just kind of whisper into her cupped hands, just
Just gotta be a little nicer. Even if he can't see you.
Scoffs. But anyways, if that's everything.
I think we're done memeing.
No, we're never done.
Well, okay.
An hour passes. The trio returns. Within Ventra, you see this kind of blue, this kind of turquoise gemstone that kind of resonates within his form. Alright, well, I should be able to talk and you'll all be able to understand me now.
Heck, it works well.
You've got a beautiful voice.
Thank you, I guess. You heard it before, so I'm not sure what's changed.
Fake!
I just never got to say it before.
Got a really nice set of pipes.
Yeah.
Understood.
Forgive the friends in their continuous usage of humanoid expression. Let's carry on, shall we?
So, are we heading towards the tower, the abandoned ruins, or around it?
Towards.
Right.
So we want to okay, but let's get this straight before we decide. Heading towards the abandoned ruins means we are going to explore them and possibly run into fights,
Okay,
or we're going to
around.
bypass the ruins and go straight for the boss.
Right, sorry.
The ruins could hold something useful within them.
That is true. However, we would prefer to hurt the least amount as possible.
Well, we could take care of this leader, this tyrant,
You can always come
first,
back.
and then on our way back go through the ruins.
Just so we're aware, the ruins are the place we plan to live anyways.
Well, the retreat, but...
Yeah, that's the ruins.
Oh. For some
They
reason, my
refer-
mind thought they were talking about the mines. No, for some reason, my brain's just like, they're talking about the mines. What the Because in my head, I was like, oh, why aren't they using the word retreat? Oh, yes, they must mean that. I'm
Yes.
brain melt.
Bamboozled.
As Marcus explains to the party what we're talking about.
Thank you, Marcus. Thank you, Marcus, for your exposition. Okay.
That wisdom of mine helps a lot understanding these little conundrums.
You can tell that I'm a musician, not a politician. Alright. Well, if that's the case, then yes, look around the ruins.
It'll still take some time to think. Some of these things resides.
Understandable.
Regardless, I think it would still take perhaps at least another day to climb up. Then with our shortcut.
Well, I mean, that's good for the sake that we're fully rested for it, at least.
Right.
Indeed.
Alright.
Maybe.
And there might still be others there that we might encounter.
Well, Marcus here, kind of points, was actually kind of acting as a bit of a scout for us. Of course, in this instance, that didn't quite work out, but only because of what we had found. I suppose he could potentially assist in making sure that we keep a low profile.
I could scout out ahead and see that make sure we don't run into anything.
Right.
When we get there, we will be expending our wind energy to essentially allow you all to get up quite a distance. Though that does mean only one of us can accompany you.
Don't worry about it. I don't need any help getting up the mountain.
Getting up there quickly, you'll need the winds.
I'm pretty sure I can get up there pretty quick. Seeing how Marcus does not get affected by vertical heights with his shoes. He could just run up the mountain full speed.
I hate that. He is a shortcut.
I'm not sure how fast you can move, but our winds can move considerably faster.
I suppose that's even with us carrying. Oh, fair enough.
It is a vent of sorts.
I got you.
Magically enhanced to send a gust of wind up. It's how we get up there even faster. I assume it'll do the same for you lot.
Fair enough. I suppose that'll work. Out of curiosity, we're not gonna shoot up 50 feet up in the air and then fall down to the ground, are we? I mean, I'm okay with that. I don't think anybody else is.
It will be why one of us will accompany you.
Ah, fair enough.
You are swept up there safely.
Well, if given the time, I can always prepare feather fall, but yes, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
In any case, I suppose, is there a preference on who you wish for us to accompany you? Otherwise, I will.
I personally would be rather interested talking more to the likes of
My brain fucking with me. Willer. Or actually, no, not Willer. Willer? Yeah, the female one, right?
Good mind, yes.
Willar, yeah.
Willar, right.
You see the gem kind of flow within one arm as it sweeps over and into Villar.
Is there something you wish to talk about?
Yes, I was going to ask if you would like to be the one who assists us as far as, not hurting ourselves and whatnot.
I think that'll be fine. I'm not sure if perhaps making my way up there, I see to it myself that I face Exelos. Although quite an intimidating figure, I know Slayer, although is the stronger one of us, I'm not sure if this...
I mean, don't worry about that, Miss. I believe you said your name. Miss Evelyn said your name was Willar.
Yes.
Oh, don't worry, Miss Willar.
Oh, I never asked her name. I'm just using the names outside of character.
Oh, sorry. I thought you said Willar because you asked to see the other person, so I assumed you must have got the name.
Sorry. That's my bad.
They would have introduced their names.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, fact of the matter is you don't have to worry about getting into the fisticuffs. That's what we're here for. And you guys think I should go up first just to scout out the area?
I think. Well, I'm looking backward towards Willar. How many are you able to, I guess, escort at a time?
All of you at once.
Well, normally I would say so, but with this event, how long does it take?
A few minutes.
Then, how close does it take? How close will it take us to Exelos?
At least halfway, if not closer.
Then I think we should all go together, just so you're not, trapped there and there happen to be a bunch of elementals around.
Oh, sure enough. I figured it was a one at a time thing, but if we're all going as a group, then that's all fine.
Right.
Yeah.
Then, if that's the case.
If you will, Miss Willar, please lead the way.
As she moves, her form sweeps back into that breezing wind, taking along with it the gem. She kind of flows alongside you.
You all seem to have been taking an interest upon this area. Is there a reason why you're studying it? What's the reason for
To be honest, we're kind of looking for a place to kind of make home and try to do as much good as possible for the world. We figured this was a good place to start.
Unfortunately, you've picked a rather unhospitable spot at the moment, but hopefully that'll change.
I mean, I disagree with that, Miss Willar. You all seem very hospitable. I just think it needs a bit of a sprucing up is all. I mean, that's part of the purpose of making the world a better place.
That's fair. I was but a wisp. It's a long time ago. I saw the fear, the pain of the humanoids that once lived here. They were running, hiding, as the others tore them asunder.
May I ask, Miss Willar, why does this... Do you have any idea why this Exelos hates, humanoids so much? Like, any inkling for this?
I don't believe it's... We were taken from our plane, as were the Air Genasi. Exalos wasn't exactly on good terms from what he's told us, that the Genasi reside within that city now. I have reason to believe that it's a vendetta. We were ousted from our homes, or at least Exalos was back in the elemental plane of air. And being ousted again from what was his original plane. I think he has reason to believe that it was their doing. I have no idea what it was, but we were all dragged here. And he wishes to enact vengeance. Thus he's been trying to grow other elementals, improve them.
I mean, can I ask you a personal question then, Miss Willard, based with this information? If we were possible to get you all back home to the air elemental plane, would you want to go back, or are you more comfortable here?
I'm not quite too sure. It's been such a long time, I'm sure it's maybe changed. It's different. We've not explored this land, this realm, this plane.
Now, there's a big world to explore, I can tell you that from experience, and a lot of lovely things to see.
Marcus, you should paint them.
Paint what? Who? Paint? You mean paint the elementals?
Yes.
I never painted wind before. That would be an interesting challenge.
Well, they have the silhouette.
Indeed. And the cherry blossoms add a nice, colored mixture within them. Be interesting to see if I can get the painting to see to make it to see if the sakura blossoms can actually float around inside them with the painting, portraying the movement of the leaf.
Whatever you just said, yes.
I'm sorry, I'm confused.
Oh, it's a thing I do. You know what a painting is?
I do not.
Oh, well, I suppose we got a quick one. Marcus will take out his painting supplies. I think we got about a few minutes to kill if we gotta wait a day anyways.
It won't be too long to get to the city, to the ruins. But I suppose you can show me what you're suggesting. As opposed to, in terms to your question, were we to return back, I don't think we'd find such beautiful trees where we once lived.
I suppose so.
I think it's a good question to think on. However, from what we know, that Exalos is true, right? I can't seem to find a way to get back.
Well, I'll make you this promise, if you all help us and we make peace with you, and you ever want to try to get back home, I promise you, I'll do everything in my power to try to get you back to the air elemental plane, if that is your wish. On the other hand, if you want to stay here and live with us, that is also acceptable and see the world.
Very well. I'll keep that in mind.
Heck, you probably really like the ocean. Beautiful sight.
I don't think I've ever seen what you would call an ocean.
Well, there you go, Miss Willard. That's the thing. The world's a beautiful place, and exploring it is going to broaden your horizons to a level you've never imagined.
Very well.
You can go ahead and roll me your painter's supplies.
Can I finally roll good here? crap! I actually rolled high.
Damn. Okay.
Perfect.
So-
Amazing. Wonderful.
Taking the time to capture, and it's doesn't take you too long considering there's not too much involved. But with your skill and expertise, you're able to paint it so almost as if when you shift your eyes and move around to look at the painting from different perspectives, it almost looks as if the painting is slightly moving, as if the wind is just kind of carrying it a little.
After Marcus's polish is off, he will turn it and show it to her. Here you go.
It's peculiar. Looks just like us.
That's kind of the point. Is with an artist's rendition is to create a person and draw them who they are, not just the physical, but the spiritual side as well. If you can capture it, this is one of my better paintings. I have to admit. You're quite the inspiration, Miss Willow.
Thank you.
She'll kind of observe it for a little longer, and the rest of them will kind of look at the painting.
Guess we'll be on our way again, if that's all.
Of course.
Right.
Painting.
You're welcome.
Optical illusion. God damn it.
Yeah, when you said like slightly moving, it immediately made me think of that thing.
Yeah, Marcus basically painted a slight optical illusion.
Nice.
But alright, as you near the ruins, you can start to hear the sound of waters, the cascading waterfalls nearby sweep through, carrying the water between small creeks and rivers as they hit the side of the deeper ravine river that kind of flows, cutting through the valley. As you approach, you can see the area there's been a building to the side where you can see this twisted gnarled tree growing through one of the buildings out through the roof to one side, just in the front gate, seemingly what used to be the front gate building. Throughout the rest of the town, you can see that there's a creek flowing through it, a broken bridge within just the near front of it. The place is eerily quiet. It's just the sound of the wind rushing the water. It just seems like Will asked if you guys are heading around the town.
Oh, yeah. We said we'd go around
Yeah.
so we can avoid as many fights as possible.
Precisely.
They'll take you through towards the right as the path veers off around the retreat ruins. Heading around, you kind of near this where the waterfall nears, and you can hear the sound of cascading water splashing into this pool that leads into this creek that heads further in towards the ruins. Eventually skirting around, and you find yourself approaching this kind of runic circle. These stones are pretty much organized within this circle, and parts of them seem to have been carved and slashed by wind, forming distinct runic patterns among these stones.
Alright. Well, now that we're here, we'll be departing upwards. Is there anything that needs to be done before we head up?
I do not believe so.
I think we're all good.
You see Ventura kind of gesture towards Willar and mutter something in the wind, and she passes over the stone towards him as he kind of takes upon this form. I just want to say that thank you for showing us that perhaps not blindly following what Ixalis has told us. I wish you luck. I'm sure he was good towards Slayer as well.
Well, thank you for giving us your time and your sympathy, really. You've been very kind to us.
I think we have lost doubts for that. Resolve to say it's a different side to you humanoids, much like us. Different motives and different goals.
Most definitely. But as much as I would like to stay to stay and talk, I think we have a timer to take down, right? And kind of looks back at the rest of the party.
Gives 2 thumbs up.
Looks over and just hand over the gem back towards Willar, uttering something in Orin. And the watch as the forms of Ventra and Slayer slowly form over around the circle and twist into the wind as they turn and shift. This vortex of wind starts to form, and it looks like it's swelling and swirling. Now is the time that you'll step within the circle.
All right.
And as you all gather within the circle, you see the wind swirling faster and faster as it starts to form this tornado of sorts, as suddenly the air bursts upwards and you're all sent spinning upwards. I need you all to make me a constitution check.
Lovely.
Check. Whoa.
Save.
Still not gonna help me as much, but a little better.
Uh-oh.
Roll.
The monk is the one that succeeds. That's hilarious.
Okay.
I forgot to roll. Okay, 1 second.
Damien.
Constitution. Oh,
Oof.
All right. As you all sent swirling upwards, there's a few minutes of just swirling wind as you're sent into this dizzying whirlwind tornado, swelling up higher and higher and higher, and it's very hard to see. You just see wind swirling. At times you see your companions just blips of the specks as they're swirling upwards. Eventually you look over towards the side and you see you're climbing the mountain faster and faster, and by the time you hit what is around maybe 60% up the mountain from what you can assume, you see this kind of outcropping of the peak kind of sitting outwards, and as soon as you hit that point you see Willa kind of bend and shift into a form as the tornado kind of pops you all up and over, and she sweeps into this form to kind of collect you and send you safely onto the ground. Einar, Damien, and Marcus. Einar and Damien feel a bit dizzy, but they're mostly fine. Marcus, you feel completely fine. You have no dizzying motions whatsoever. You've spent a lot of the time, funnily enough, upside down, that you should be okay. This is no problem.
he's been under space training pretty much.
Yeah. Lucia and Candy, you are like you
Oh,
feel
don't forget about me.
extremely nauseous. Yeah, I know. You feel extremely nauseous, and you're like stumbling around the moment you hit, and you find it really hard to pick yourselves up. Evelyn, you just vomit, just straight up the moment you hit the ground, just completely worrying.
It's just this wonderful thing of like I feel like she knows it's coming, and you just said that there's an outcropping. If they were near that ledge, she's going to deposit the remains of whatever she ate previously off that cliff.
Okay.
I love the fact that Marcus is the one that passed so well that he didn't even notice. Like, what's so weird? Why do you all look a little ill?
Like meanwhile, like she stands up and turns around, and you just notice that like the entirety of her afro has just been it's sticking up in weird directions, like a frozen explosion.
Ooh.
Just I'm gonna need a moment.
That was pretty. Woo! I'm dizzy.
You look a little greener than normal, Candy.
Uh,
You know, I never imagined orcs got greener when they were sicker.
I'm good. I'm cool.
Press hands on knees.
And with that, as you are currently within this outcrop area, you can see before you this kind of cave entrance that leads deeper within the mountain. You can see the snow-capped peaks around towards the sides. You can see what seems to be some of the areas just in far like corner. You can see what appears to be this kind of building jutting out from it, seemingly like some sort of similar to, hold on, let me see. One of these smaller buildings here, jutting out quite far, about a few hundred feet away on the side of the mountain. As you see the cave just kind of looming up, and Willa kind of turns towards you all. Well, I hope you all are all right.
I've had better days, but I'll be okay. This she's just sitting, just picking through her hair.
Well, when you're all ready, I guess we'll venture forth.
Yes, just 10-ish minutes, please. She's
Okay.
continuing.
Okay. And well, if there was anything else anyone want to do within those 10 minutes.
Marcus is still pretty good. I mean,
Yeah. Okay. Well, everyone catches their bearings and gets ready to clear their mind after dizzying heights and spinning. I'm going to go ahead and call the session there because I did not. Although,
Fighting is soon to potentially happen.
indeed. But yeah, hope you all enjoyed.
it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I am so glad we were able to pull off that peaceful resolution.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.